Hey everybody, this is James Harrelson for our first ever edition of Ask Carley here on 100.7 The Tiger. Now here's how this is going to go, Carley.
Okay.
You're streaming live right now on the Tigers Facebook page. So what we're asking people to do is just jump in the comments section and ask Carley anything. You can make a comment, you can ask her a question. You can also get in the 100.7 The Tiger app and ask your question, or you can tweet it to her at Carley McCord on Twitter. So, Carley, first and foremost, this is the digs here, behind the scenes.
This is where I work. This is where all of the magic happens, right here in this chair.
That's right. This is all of her computers. You've got like 4 computers here.
I do. Well, technically 5, because that one's a computer up there too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a TV and, you know, all of this. It's a lot of buttons. It's a lot to learn.
So very nice and spacious studio here. So go ahead, get your questions in right now for Carley for the Ask Carley segment. Carley, we've gotten 5 already emailed into us. I'm just going to go down the list. Carley has not seen these questions, so we're going to get her wisdom, like on the fly.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. All right, let's see here. Carley, first question comes from Emily from Baton Rouge. What's your dream vacation?
Ooh, Emily, that's a good question. So I've never been to Europe, and I've always wanted to go to Europe and, you know, see a little bit of where my Italian roots come from. My mom's Italian, so that's probably my dream vacation, is going to Europe for about 10 days and not have my phone with me except for to take pictures. Nobody can talk to me like via email or text and just not be bothered.
All right, we have Matt Cockburn who writes into the question. I guess we're calling it the stream. I don't know. We're making stuff up as we go along. He asks, "Are you the same Carley from AFR on 104.9?"
I am.
The
Matt.
rumors are true.
It's true, but I would like to say that this fan base here on the Tiger, they're actually really nice to where they're really not on ESPN. So.
All right, so because I also work on ESPN as well. So you're saying that the listeners over on ESPN might not be as nice as the ones on Tiger?
Might not. No, they're definitely not at all. So I prefer my listeners and fans here on the Tiger. They're much nicer.
So a typical day for you, right now you're on the air for 100.7 The Tiger, and after this you will work on the afternoon drive time show with Matt Moscona, correct?
Correct, until 6 o'clock.
Gotcha. All right, continue to get your questions and comments in for the Ask Carley segment. Carley, next question here comes from Richie from Denham Springs. What was your favorite sports team to watch growing up?
So my parents are huge LSU fans and huge Saints fans. But I would have to say the Saints were my favorite sports teams growing up. I actually named my little poodle Reggie Bush when Reggie used to play for the Saints. So I love the New Orleans Saints, and I'll always be a diehard New Orleans Saints fan, I think, until I die.
Now, last couple of days, I've listened a little bit to your show, and you're mentioning a lot of Cleveland Cavalier love.
Yeah.
Were you a big-time Cleveland Cavaliers fan growing up, or what's the story behind that?
So I moved to Cleveland right out of school and got my first job in this industry in Cleveland. I lived there for 2 years. So my first job was with the Cleveland Browns. So, of course, you know, I jumped on the bandwagon, started cheering for their sports teams. It's kind of hard not to cheer for Cleveland sports teams because until this past weekend, they have never, you know, won anything or been a threat. So it was easy to jump on the bandwagon there. So I, you know, started cheering for the Cavs. I actually would go to games all of the time, and I sang the national anthem at one of the Cavs playoff games last year. So really cool. So, no, I have not been cheering for them my whole life. So I'm kind of a recent bandwagon fan.
There you go. All right, continue to get your questions and comments in right now in the comments section for the first ever Ask Carley segment. We'll be having these every single week. So anything you want to ask Carley, now is your chance. Get in the comments section right now. Let's see here. Our next question comes from Tyler from Baton Rouge. And now we're kind of switching gears here, and we actually have a relationship question here. He writes in, Carley, just got a girl's number last night. How long should I wait before I text her? Ah, yes, the age-old question. Carley, he's got her number. When should he text her?
He should have texted her this morning when he woke up, and he should have said, "Hey, this is so-and-so. Just hope that you have a great day." Keep it simple. And she would absolutely respond to you. If she gave you her number, she's interested. So she's going to respond to you, probably maybe with, thank you, I hope you do too as well. And that'll probably spark continuing conversation.
Gotcha. So you really don't believe in the whole quote-unquote 3-day rule, right?
I don't have time for all of that.
All right, next question here. This comes from Melissa in Prairieville. Carley, I'm in my mid-20s. Thinking about getting Botox. How young is too young for Botox?
I got Botox. First time I got Botox, I was 24. So I don't think that if you are in your mid-20s, you're definitely not too young. I think if you start now, it's perfect because it's preventative at this point. You prevent future wrinkles from occurring. So you'll always be flawless. Always.
And what's great about what you do here on the Tigers, you actually do some work with Weiler here in town.
I do. So if you want Botox, you have to make sure to go see my friends at Weiler Plastic Surgery. They're here in Baton Rouge. They also have a office in Hammond, Louisiana as well. WeilerPlasticSurgery.com. And they're the best at Botox. And I've gotten a lot of Botox from different people, and they're the best so far.
All right. Continue to post your questions here in the comment section here for Carley for Ask Carley. Our next question here, this is a doozy. This person actually wishes to remain anonymous, so we're going to keep her anonymous here. But I guess she's a she, so I kind of gave that away. She writes in, Carley, my boyfriend of 6 months is jealous that I text my best friend who happens to be a guy. My best friend has a girlfriend, and I keep telling my boyfriend that he has nothing to worry about, but he's still upset. Any advice?
Your boyfriend needs to quit with the insecurities, or you need to tell him bye. I have tons of guy friends, including you, James. I work with all men.
I'm not your friend. I just kind of...
You're right. I pay James to talk to me. It's
charity work for me.
It is. I have tons of guy friends, and whoever dates me has got to be accepting of that, because I am not going to give up my ride or die guy friends just because you have insecurity issues. So the fact that he has insecurity issues is a huge red flag. I think that you should address that. I don't think you should stop hanging out or texting your best guy friend. He should trust you, and your best guy friend should give him every reason to trust him as well. So I don't see the reasoning, or I don't see why there should be insecurity there whatsoever. So I think it's a huge red flag, and I think that's something you should address. And you're not doing anything wrong by anyone's standards. I don't care what anyone says. You're not doing anything wrong.
There you go. On to a lighter subject. Another Tyler writes in from Baton Rouge. Carley, can you break down the LSU football team this season? How do you see it playing out?
I think that there's a lot of returning talent. I think with a lot of, experience after coming off of last year, I think they have a lot to prove. And with everything that went down towards the end of the season last year, that they will come out, and I think they will come out on fire. I think that they need to fly under the radar, not be overhyped here. They need to stay about here and then prove to people that they should be here. I think Brandon Harris, if he can come back and be the Brandon Harris that we saw, scramble away from some of those tough plays and get the ball down the field to some of his amazing receivers, Malachi Dupree, list goes on and on. I think that it could be a win-win for the Tigers. I think we could see him do very well this year. This is a potential national championship team. You heard it here first.
Yeah, and I'm not going to jump in your segment here, but I would have to agree with that. I think all of the signs really kind of point to LSU being a national favorite. All right, so this is going to wrap up our first edition of Ask Carley. It was a quick segment. Again, every Wednesday at 1:30, be on Tigers' Facebook page and post your questions or comments. Tracy Douglas Moreau writes in, you rock, Carley, beautiful, and a mind for sports.
Love you, Tracy.
So we appreciate y'all listening, and this will be a great way to interact with Carley during her shift. So again, throughout the week, be thinking about some of the questions you want to ask Carley. You can post them here in the comment section, or you can tweet to her on Twitter at Carley McCord. You guys have a great day. If you missed today's video, it will be up at Carley's blog, so be sure to check that out. Everyone have a great day.